And we are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man Dale Saint. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I really want to know podcast. Man, it's Thursday. It's almost the weekend, y'all. Almost the weekend. I hope y'all are doing well. I can't complain. I can't complain. I'm going through a real lazy spell. I gotta get myself motivated. I gotta figure that out. You know what I mean? Brother Dino in the house, man. What's good, fam? How you doing? It's like DL. Hope you and little princess are well. Let us know how your fitness program is going when you have time, my brother. I will, man. It's a slow burn. Being older, it's not like when we were younger, man. Just going to the gym, throw up a bunch of weight, get crazy with it. I definitely got to take my time and go light. So just kind of walking, watching the diet. That's the key. Watching the diet, walking, getting a little bit of cardio in, and then I have some full body workouts. I was trying to get a personal trainer. There's one I really wanted to work with, but she couldn't clear her schedule this month. And I'm like, I can't keep waiting. I'm gonna have to get out here and just get after it. So I have a bunch of workouts from previous personal trainers. Then I can hit up a bunch of people. I can hit up Mandrell. Cody is King is always a good resource. And then my dude, Rook had me really in shape back in 2009. He had me in the gym every day. So I still have those workouts, and I'll just go in, I'll do full body, and I'll go in maybe, 2 days a week. I'll get that up to 3 days a week with cardio in between. And at this age, you got to really listen to your body, because if it's hurting, don't work it out. You know what I mean? Just skip it, do something else. Because, you guys, I'm in my 50s. So, and one thing I do want to get into, ideally, I hit the gym twice a week, and then once a week, I'll go and hit the boxing gym and just kind of hit the heavy bag, like do a little bit on the speed bag. I'm not good at it, but just to kind of do it, shadow box, doing jumping rope and all that. So I'll definitely do that. Rich Cooper was doing that. Rich Cooper and George Gammon, but Rich Cooper was like he actually wanted to get into the ring and fight. I think he did it. Same with George Gammon. I'm not trying to get busted up in the head anymore. You know what I'm saying? I have hit my head way too many times. Way too many times. But it is a good idea though. So yeah, man, appreciate you asking about me, man. I hope all is well on your end. We're about to talk about some people, man, from your part of the world, man. Sadia Khan. I came across her content, not even her content. I saw her on Just Pearly Things, I guess a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago. She was sitting on one of the panels. I remember listening to her. And I went looking for her content, but I couldn't find it back then. But I stumbled across it. She's looked like she's been really getting after it. There's some content with her and Andrew Tate. There's some content out there with a bunch of some of the bigger people in the manosphere space, and there's some like just mainstream YouTubers out there who she's sat down and talked to. So I'm like, oh, I'm listening to her message. It's pretty consistent, but there's some stuff in her message where I'm like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, and we're gonna get into it right now, as a matter of fact. And y'all can tell me if I'm tripping or if she tripping or what y'all think. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. So I'm definitely gonna we definitely gonna get into this. And I'm still working on adding to the content, guys. Still working on that. I've got my hands on the Rodecaster wireless mics. I have two of them. And I had to get some adapters so I could connect to my iPhone so I can get some content. And I'm gonna try to grab some of that, like just kind of man on the scene type stuff, just kind of grab some content. And then ideally I'll find someone that an audio visual video person that can actually run the camera for me. Have someone in mind that's got to reach out to them, see what their schedule's like. And if I can get that, I can go out twice a month and just kind of get some interviews and just kind of talk to just regular folk. You know, you'd be surprised how many people have no idea about this part of the internet and these conversations that are going on, you know, seemingly every day, 24/7, you know me, 365 to the people in this space. The rest of the world, nah, they're working on a different plan. So I want to go out and get some of that. I might even be able to get a little bit of that content this weekend. Um, we'll see. So just kind of hang in there, and you know, I mean, we'll see how it works out. Brother Dino, he's asking, do they have a circuit class lessons near you? They have everything here in Tampa. I mean, anything you can think of, man, is out here. There's like MMA, jujitsu, um, judo, karate, Wing Chun, Muay Thai, and just good old fashioned American boxing. You know, what I mean, there's all sorts of stuff, and everyone does a class. So, I mean, and you still have the CrossFit people. You know, it's not as popular as it used to be, but they're still out there. Um, so yeah, you know, like Tampa is a pretty big city, especially for Florida, and there's tons and tons of stuff out here. A lot of aquatic type stuff, man. Those people on those big old boards and they just kind of paddle themselves, which is great exercise, swimming and all that. It's a little bit of everything. It's just making it work. I just, you know, having a schedule and making it work. You know, like I drop my daughter off at school, and then that gives me X amount of time to take care of what I need to take care of, which would include working out, you know, running errands and whatever else may pop up, right? So doing this, coming up with content, watching content, that's all time consuming. So it's just a matter of scheduling it all out and, you know, and figuring it out. And right now, I'm not doing a really good job of it. I'm sitting here, I got to figure out, okay, now how can I really focus and get this done and get everything, uh, you know, into this day. You obviously it's easier during the summers, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And that's part of it, right? I mean, you out here trying to get it, this is what you gotta do. You gotta make it happen. Especially when you do something because you just love it, it's just fun. I'm not, you know, I get those big YouTubers, they're making money. There's a YouTuber I recently discovered like a couple days ago. Um, he does shoes. He's like part of that sneaker world, right? And I had no idea it was so much money. And you know, we call them gym shoes. People call them tennis shoes or whatever. I sneaker heads or whatever. I had no idea the amount of money that's in that space in that world. So he works at a. His name is um Rami, Rami the Icon or something like that. Romy the Icon, Rami the Icon. He just has a camera set up at his place of business. He works in this shoe shop in the shoe store in LA. I believe they're on Melrose. I think they had one in Santa Monica too. They're about to open one in Vegas. They're like exploding. So they buy, sell, and trade sneakers. And like you actually bring your shoes in, they'll make an offer right there and give you cash money for your shoes. Um, I had, man, blew me away. Had no idea, but this kid is really good at it. To me, he seemed like just the perfect salesman. This kid, and he's been doing this since he was 18 years old. You kind of watching this guy grow. So you look at some of his early content. He's like in his room, like probably living with his parents. But now you look at his content. He has a nice place. You know, he's living in LA, so I know how much stuff costs out there. I'm like, dude, got a nice spot. Um, so YouTube can really financially turn you around. So you know, of course, we're not there, but I understand why he puts so much effort into his YouTube channels, into his vlog channels, into what they do because it's brought, you know, such a financial windfall. So you know, it is what it is. We're just gonna do this, but we're gonna keep talking about relationships. We pretty much had a pretty good red pill week, you know, relationship talk. You know, we talking about what was going on with Jenny, my, and Jeezy, and you know, we're always talking about relationships. So, you know, Sister Khan has some points that I thought we should really check out, man. Like the stuff that she's talking about, it's like, huh. So we got 3 videos we're gonna try to get through. Not the whole video. One, you know, one of them's over an hour. You know, they're really long, but we're just gonna look, you know, get into some segments and listen to some of her points. And, I'm just going to give my take on it as an old dude over here in America. Now, she's from, across the pond. I believe she said she's of Pakistani origin. But, she's 100% westernized. She's currently living in Dubai, but she travels back and forth from Dubai to London. She has a very realistic take on what's going on in the world. I mean, she's in the mind business. So, yeah, we're gonna check this out. And at some point, guys, you gotta hear some beeping in the background. I got a lasagna in the oven. I'm gonna have to take it out in about 20 minutes or 30 minutes or something like that. I'm just waiting for it to beep. So don't worry. When it's time for me to slide away, I'll just have the video rolling. I'll slide away. You guys won't even know I have gone and come back. So let's pull this up and check this out, man. So this video, I forget the name of his brother, huge YouTuber. Fresh and Fit was on his podcast when they were in Dubai some months back. And I think that she came in not long after them. I think he did the podcast with Fresh and Fit. And then she was the next interview, probably in the same week. She doesn't have a really high opinion of Myron. I would love to ask her why, because their views are really, really similar. Right. Brother Cody's Kings in the building. What's up, bro? Yeah, man. That's where I saw her too. First place I saw her was on Just Pearly Things, man. And I remember that episode. That was the only Just Pearly Things episode I watched for more than 30 minutes. I mean, I sat there and watched almost the whole thing because I was really interested in her take and what she was saying to these women, these young girls who were sitting there. So yeah, man, let's get into it. Let's check this out.
Can't wait for this. I have so many notes.
Oh, amazing.
So, Sadia Khan, thank you for coming onto the podcast. You are the first female
guest. Super privileged about that, by the way. Yeah. I don't know how I cut the queue, but I'm very grateful. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. You actually reached out.
I did, and I thought you would never reply to me. I was like, there's no way he's going to see it. And you actually replied to me. I'm really grateful. So thank you for that.
Well, this is a much needed conversation because for you guys who watched the previous episode, that was with Fresh and Fit. We were discussing his book, Why Women Deserve Less. Please. Heard you're a big fan of that book.
I actually wanted to get a conversation with him, but I'm actually glad we did it this way better. I actually think it's really good to speak to somebody who's just heard two sides of the coin, and then we can have a more neutral discussion, which I'm really excited about. So thank you for reaching out. I really appreciate it.
So could you give everybody a brief background of what it is that you do?
Yeah.
And I think it's real funny. Y'all saw the major eye roll. He's talking about Myron's book, Why Women Deserve Less. It's over my shoulder. When I take the screen off, you can see it behind me. Let me show you real quick. That's right. That's the white book right there. Why Women Deserve Less. And it's definitely that book triggers a lot of folks, the title. But if you read what's in that book, he does talk about a couple things with respect to what's going on in the modern day world and what's going on with the dating, the sexual marketplace. Hey, love him or hate him, his math is solid on certain things. I don't agree with everything Myron says. I don't agree with everything anyone says. But the stuff that he's talking about in that book, it holds water. And she knows it. She knows it. I'm gonna hit Myron up and ask him if there's any plans in the future to do an interview with her, because I think that would be a pretty good interview. And I guarantee you 80% of the stuff they will agree with. Let's continue.
I'm a psychologist. I'm based here in Dubai, but I go back and forth from London to Dubai all the time. I do one-to-one online coaching with clients, mainly to do with trauma, but online I do a lot of relationship coaching and a lot of relationship counseling. So I'm actually a psychologist, but I specialize in childhood traumas, but it translates better online when I do relationship kind of advice. And it's kind
more interesting.
It's far more interesting. Everybody clicks when there's a video that says why men cheat or why women cheat, but no one clicks when they say why do you get anxious? They don't really care about that. So what happened is I started doing more relationship kind of coaching, and it kind of took off on social media a bit from there. And now I just kind of try and join podcasts and try and just get a message out there about how to have more healthy relationships.
So did you go to university?
Yeah,
in the UK?
I did the university, masters, everything in the UK. I became a psychology teacher for a while, and great in London. I really enjoyed it in London because the kids are really raw and they're really energetic and they teach you so much. They keep you young. Have you ever worked with kids or anything?
No, not that often.
They're really good.
Dude, he's like, nah, I don't rock with children. Hey man, I ain't mad. You know what I mean? A lot of young folks don't want to deal with it. I ain't mad. So she gave her background. Like I said, she's in the head game. She has letters behind her name. She's has a master's degree, educated in London. Like I said, so and then she talks about not really her childhood or where she's from, but she says she's Pakistani. And she said that in multiple videos. So I mean that's cool, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. She's obviously a very attractive woman. She's older. And there's a lot of the stuff that she talks about, especially with respect to older women. I think a lot of it, she says what she says, but I don't know if it's necessarily based in any facts. I think she really conflates a little bit, and she's saying what she's saying because she's in that demographic. But everything else, when she's speaking on just in general and away from her demographic, she sounds completely red pill, in my opinion, man. So, Brother Cody is saying, like, yeah, for a female psycho, she's pretty based. She is about most of the stuff, but some of the stuff, we're gonna see here today. Yeah, she's like, yeah, not full LGTV like most, absolutely. Like she's kind of carved out a little space of her own where she appeals to both sides, right? So, the Manosphere guys are going to listen to her and watch her because she's pretty. I mean, look at Pearl. Not to knock Pearl for her hard work and what she has done, but Pearl's not attractive by any stretch of the imagination. And look at Pearl. Like, this woman comes in the door and it's like, yo, she's fine. You check her out like, oh, wow, very modern. I don't believe she's married. I don't believe she has children. And it just kind of lets you know what's going on with that, right? And her views on that, it's like it's a little bit off. It's a little bit off, but okay, I'm with you. So let's continue.
Good fun because they keep you young. But in Dubai, I just felt a little bit like they're so well set up in life. They've got their nannies, they've got their chefs, they're good to go. They don't need you as much. So I felt like maybe my services would be better if I do it online and reach the people that may not be able to afford therapy, but then we offer them a form of therapy online. So I thought maybe that would be a better route. So just kind of went more towards doing online stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
So are you pretty busy?
No, I live a great life. I'm usually on JVR.
No, I mean, are you busy with business? A lot of people come and ask you for help.
They are? I'm very grateful. I have a really good. Do you know what the good thing is? My message isn't for everybody. So what happens is the clients that come to me really want the same goal, which is how do we create a healthy relationship dynamic, and how do we become good parents to children? So what happens is I don't appeal to everybody. I'm totally okay with that. But the clients I do appeal to, we're a good fit. So I'm nice and busy, but I also I get more freedom with my time now. Now I select when I see clients, and then I get to enjoy a bit of Dubai life as well. Whereas before I was just work. Now it's a good balance. Do you find that?
And it's, I'm listening to her story and I'm just kind of sitting here thinking about it. Like she bounces from London to Dubai. She pretty much says, well, I pretty much work when I want. I pick and choose my clients. I don't have to deal with all the nonsense. Bro, I wonder if she comes from money. Because you just can't bounce from London to Dubai back and forth and just kind of, I work when I want to. Those are two of the most expensive places on the planet, right? They're up there. They got to be in the top 5. So it's not cheap to live in either. So, and she just kind of like, whatever, just chilling. I've seen a bunch of her videos. She's wearing designer everything, from her earrings to her shoes to her outfits. There's money. And I'm listening to, her educational background. It's like, all right, cool. You said you taught for a while. Like, okay, she must have taught at the university level. And even then, I mean, it takes tenure to get the real bread. She doesn't really talk about doing anything in the private sector outside of this. So, I wonder where that money comes from. You know what I mean? I wonder where that comes from. I mean, Brother Cody, he's saying therapy equals legal emotional manipulation by a licensed drug dealer. Bro, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, man. Brother Mandrell's in the building. What's good, fam? Is that Mike Thurston that she's talking to? Yes, that is him. This is from his podcast. It was like, I forget the name of his podcast, something like the Think THRST or something like that. I have it leaked. It's already in the description below. I have his podcast. It's named there. And I don't really follow dude. I discovered dude when he interviewed Fresh and Fit. I don't really follow his content. I just assume he's a fitness guy. He's massive. You know, you can tell he takes care of himself. That's transitioned into like the manosphere stuff. I think that's who that is. I mean, I know that's who that is, but I think that's what he's done. So let's continue.
You get a bit of a balance, or you just work mode?
No, I've definitely got a balance.
It's
I mean,
nice,
I've kind of created this lifestyle for myself where I can pick and choose when I work.
Yeah.
And I go through phases where I will work a lot.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you know what? I want a bit of time off. So then I just...
And is there times where you just have like a holiday and just time off? Or is
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Well, there was a period when I was in my late 20s, early 30s where I probably did too much of that.
Okay.
So that's why we come back, we start the podcast and we're grinding.
But you know what? When you live in Dubai, life feels like a bit of a holiday. So you don't crave that kind of break from work as much as you used to, like in the UK.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I can literally just go downstairs to the beach for an hour and then just come
I don't
back
know
up.
if can they see your view from your place?
You're missing out. They can't right now, but I think they've seen it before.
You need to see it. It's incredible. So you've got it good. You've got it not too bad. I have to say, it's amazing in here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't complain.
So I think it's safe to say, in today's modern society, the whole dating and relationship scene is trickier than it used to be.
It's unhealthy. Yeah. I was doing something recently where I was just talking about how current dating is just practicing for divorce. We have very little kind of ethics and cultures that create a long-lasting marriage, and we're teaching people exactly how to get divorced, how to have short-term connections, how to move on quickly, how to break up and then start again, how to have very little attention and patience. So we're creating an environment and a culture where we have perfect candidates for divorce, unfortunately.
And this is what I mean. This is why I like her content. I agree with 100%. It's not we have created, especially in the first world. Like all the first world countries, they have created this environment where this is how it goes. Like people are just like, whatever, man. You know what I mean? It's all about self and it's not about the greater good. I don't like this. I'm leaving. I can't believe you wore white after Labor Day. Bye. I want a divorce. Here in America, you will hear this a lot when people say, well, women in America are incentivized to get divorced. I would modify that to say the people who have less in a relationship, and I'm talking about financially less than in a relationship, they have the incentive to divorce because they're going to get wrecked. Now, historically, men have had the money. They have been the people who have the stability and all that and the assets. So a woman would divorce them and get paid, right? And, you know, we've all heard it. You lose half your stuff, at least half your stuff, right? So that is the way it is. So when people say women are incentivized to, you know, divorce and because they get paid, I get where they're coming from. You can make the argument that men who have less than or are married to successful women are incentivized to leave, but they just to date to this point, that hasn't been a thing. Now that may change moving forward. That may change. But most dudes, especially when they get married, they tend to want to stay married. 80 to 90% of marriages in America divorces are initiated by women. You know, like we were talking about Jeezy because he's divorcing his wife. He falls into that 20%. People are shocked. Like, why is he doing it? Well, there's all kind of reasons as to why. You know, Brother Dino has been watching Mick for years. All right. Oh, he's a really good guy who makes great content. I've never really watched his content, bro. So I'm gonna check it out, man. Like it is what it is. Scam Likely's in the building. What's good, fam? Incentivized talk is BS. It's not, bro. Now, when you look at when you enter that contract, when you enter that marriage contract, one person could indeed be the way the rules are set up. The person who has less, you can argue, is incentivized to walk away. It doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt to walk away. There's nothing, whatever. I'm going to leave. I'm going to get the kids. I'm going to get the house. I'm going to get half of the resources. I'm straight. You know what I mean? You can look at it that way. Now you look at some people who are like, well, they're in situations where they're being hurt. It's violent or whatever. They got to get out. Understand it. Get that. Leave. Right. And then there's situations where, you know, there are women out there who don't want anything. They're just like, you know what? I'm bored or whatever, or I don't like this, or I've changed, you've changed, whatever. You're not treating me the way I want to be treated. You're not here for the kids. You out partying. I want to leave. All right, cool. I get that too. And they just walk away like I don't want nothing. But to sit here and say that, oh, you know, no one's incentivized to get divorced. Come on, man. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. You just go look at the numbers. You know what I mean? Just go look at the numbers. You know what I mean? Sadia has made TV and films. Oh, she's an actress. I didn't know that. But she looks to have kept her private life out of the public area. Guaranteed she is married. I think she says she is not, but I'm looking at her hand and I don't know what fingers y'all use over there. Over here, we use the left hand. This is the ring finger, but over there in Europe, I think sometimes they use the right hand. I don't know, bro. But she has it's like I said, she's very pretty, and I'm just trying to figure out where the money comes from. Like she's on easy mode right now. She's chilling, and it seems to me that she's single, but you can't tell. Like I have yet to find the video where she says I'm single, I'm married, I'm divorced, or whatever. It is what it is. And Cody is King's like, yeah, very incentivized. Also incentivized to not take the contact seriously, because why would you? No repercussions. Facts. You just, man, when we talk about this, man, and just people are starting to holler at me, they're like, yeah, man, I agree with you. If you are the person in the relationship that has less, then go ahead, by all means, get married. You know what I mean? People are like, nah, bro, that makes sense. That makes sense. If a woman is worth a bunch of money or has all these resources and financially stable and all this stuff, and she wants to marry you and you don't have these things, right? And if she's still willing to marry you, that means you at least one thing, you know, like, man, she's really into you. Like because she's getting nothing out of this on the back end. If this does not work, she may actually lose. We've had my buddy Perry Davis Jr., Esquire, on this show. Shout out to Perry. And he talks about it. He's a divorce lawyer. You know, he's a lawyer who practices family law. He says it all the time. He's out of Ohio. It's like, yeah, man, you know, women are, you know, losing half of their retirement, losing half of their pension. They're having to, you know, either give the guy the house or sell the house and give him, or, you know, buy him out, basically. So if the house is worth $1 million, you're gonna have to cut a check for $500,000 just on the house alone. It's like, yeah, bro. You know what I mean? I was talking to him about it, and I say, hey, man, as a court system, is it a gender bias there? He's like, no, they just want to know who has the money and who doesn't. That's it. And then they go from there. So, you know what I mean? So it is. And like, and Scam is saying, interesting, divorced single moms run Wall Street. I didn't say that. Did not say that. Now, you know, the amount of money that they get rewarded through the court system varies, of course. You know what I mean? But I mean, you look at someone like Kelly Clarkson. She lost the house. She lost the kids. Like, I believe he got custody of the kids. She's paying alimony and child support to her multi-millionaire husband, but Kelly Clarkson is worth more money. So I'm just saying, that's just an example. And I know people are like, well, why are you using famous people? Just to show you that gender doesn't matter. Right. And and if anybody would be able to get around that system, would be the wealthy people who are female. Right. Halle Berry couldn't get around it. You know, Jennifer Lopez couldn't get around it. Britney Spears couldn't get around it. You know, we can name more and more and more. Now, I can name people out there that aren't famous that had to pay. People I know, like I said, air traffic controllers, law enforcement people, like at the federal level and at the state and local levels. I know people who work like producers, directors, writers, and women that had to pay out. Now, if I say their names, it means nothing to you because you don't know these people. You don't know, but trust me, they're paying out. Is the money mega? Is it massive? No, but to them, it's still 45 to 50% of their net worth. It's gone. You know what I mean? Everything that they work for is gone. Like half the house and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it works that way. You know what I mean? It works that way, bro. So, and there are people who just outright refuse to accept it, and that's fine. And to those people, I say, get married. Go ahead and get married. You know what I mean? Nah, you don't need a prenup. Go ahead. Give it a shot. You know what I mean? But, and I'm just saying that in jest, guys, because I don't want to see anybody get wrecked. I just tell people, like, just know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Understand how this stuff works. Do your own research. You understand you taking a risk. And that's for men and women. Let's continue.
But why do you think that is? Do you think it's largely due to social media?
I think it's massively had a huge impact because more so than anything, it's reduced our desire invest in everything's disposable. You can message and quickly move on. You can quickly post a picture and new people will come into your DMs. So there is no motivation to make things work when they get tricky. So that's why, and social media hasn't been ideal for relationships.
I feel like back in the day, there was more of a motivation to actually put in some effort to make a relationship work.
Absolutely.
Whereas now, it's like you said, it's very disposable.
Yes.
And even I've experienced it myself.
Yeah.
Like, if there's been times where I've got into arguments and I'm like, do you know what, screw this, like, bye, I'll move on to the next. But that's not a healthy way to look at it.
But the thing is, what it's done is given everybody alternatives. So the average person now has alternatives if they have social media or if they have a Tinder account or whatever it is. Whereas before, the lack of alternatives makes you invest. Now there's so many alternatives that there is no desire to invest anymore, unfortunately.
What do you think of this quote? I asked Myron.
He's about to say a quote from the Women Deserve Less. I just want to stop it right there, so you guys can listen to her response. Like I say, man, she has a hard on for Myron, bro. She might want to smash. I don't know, bro. Like it's been 2 or 3 episodes on separate podcasts where she has something that's it's like it's quiet and under her breath. You know what I mean? Like I said, making it rolling the eyes. You know what I mean? Making little comments. It's like, it might be something there. I don't know. She's Muslim. He's Muslim. They're both raised in the West. And I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But technology has certainly changed the game. We talk about that all the time, right? And like it's mostly guys over here. When we got our sisters that rock with us over here, though. We got Sister Candace. We got Miss Globe Girl, Miss AKA Lady. You know what I mean? We got Lady Navoy that comes through here. I Am the Single One comes through here. We have women who listen. And I'm grateful for that. But the game has changed completely. Technology has changed it to where, again, there is no incentive to tough it out. Relationships are hard, man. Relationships are hard. So a lot of people don't want to just deal with the relationship. You know what I mean? So, I got to go take my lasagna out the oven. So I'm going to play this. I'll be right back.
About this, he actually quoted it in his book. Most women want to get married and have children. Very few want to be wives and mothers.
I understand where he's coming from with that. I do understand where he's coming from.
It's not his quote, but it's a quote he used.
Okay, yeah. I understand where the person is coming from that with. In my experience of working with, clients and couples, wives and mothers involves being quite nurturing. And it's a selfless role. When you become a mother, you realize that, the crying baby doesn't care if you're hungry, tired, sleeping. It's an automatic selfless role. And in this hedonistic society where there's so much pleasure available, being selfless is becoming a dying trait. So I do think, I understand it is I don't think people understand the level of selflessness that it takes to maintain a healthy marriage and children. And they almost expect faithfulness, loyalty. They expect the marriage to work because that's what it used to be. But now we have to work on it. Unfortunately, it's not going to come effortlessly, and that requires selflessness.
What would you say you are? Would you say you're the type of person right now you're completely focused on your career and you want that family life, you want to be a mother, but you're not ready for it right now?
Well, no, I would say I'm always ready. But the thing is, I'm also a difficult person. I'm a very difficult person. I'm not the easiest. I'm quite I see red flags and everything. So I can't just think, even with kids, I'm like, oh, we can just do this. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, but that's not safe for them. That's not good for them. That's not this. So my head it's part of
You're looking at the potential father.
Unfortunately, everything is a problem. Everything is, even just taking the kids here, there, and everywhere. My brain goes to that kind of.
And this is what I was talking about, man. I don't think she's married and she doesn't have any kids. You hear this stuff, man, but that quote that Myron ran up in there when he was saying, that women really don't want to be married. They want the wedding, but they don't want to be. They want the wedding, and they want to be married, but they don't want to be mothers and they don't want to be wives. I mean, it's hard to argue that point, right? It's hard to argue that point. I mean, and I would argue the reason that is not just because of technology. Of course, technology is a huge reason behind that, but they're not being taught to be that way and they're not seeing it. Young kids, man, I learned through my daughter, the stuff that she sees, the stuff that she knows. Her environment, her complete environment affects her. Right? So you got young boys who aren't seeing fathers and moms. You know, I mean, they're not seeing the traditional nuclear family. And even the ones that have mom and dad in the house, they feel attention. They see dad sleeping in the guest room. They see mom and dad not touching, not kissing, not being playful. They understand. Kids, they're like, they're just here for us. They know it. And they just deal with it or whatever because, you know, all that affects them. So why would they want to replicate that? You come from a house where, all right, you have mom and dad in the house, but they were fighting like cats and dogs and they hated each other. And you know, it was tense. It was just nasty. Why would you want to do that in your life? You know what I mean? Then you look at the media. You look at what's going on in the, you know, and with movies and TV shows. I mean, look what our society, again, in the first world nations, look what we're pushing. These kids, they see it. You know what I mean? Brother Penny's in the building. What's good, man? Penny Jules, you're like, justice is blind. LOL. Ladies, you're now free to enjoy the equality you fought so hard for. Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome to the set. You in the gang now. Y'all done messed up. You want to see what it's like? This is what it's like. Women are in, you know, in college and completing college in higher numbers than men. They're starting to out earn men in their cohorts. This is all beginning. Right? Dudes aren't even approaching anymore. Women want the best men that they could possibly get. You have all these other things going on. Women are out here like, man, I got to compete to get these guys, and they get the guy that they want. And if they don't keep themselves right, the guy's going to move on to something else. And they can't, well, I'm going to get divorced. Fine. He's going to take half your stuff because you out earn him. You know what I mean? It is crazy what's going on now. It is crazy. So, you know, and when I was watching this video, and we're going to watch like up to like the first 30 minutes of this. And then there's like 2 other videos I want to watch there real quick. But the way she was talking and asking him questions, and, you know, like it was like she was trying to get on. She was trying to get on. And I'm not mad. It makes sense. Women are going to want to get the best they can get. She is very attractive. She can have any man she wanted. Any man she possibly wants right now, she can have him. Any man. But I see stuff like that. And it's like, well, why are you single? Well, I want to focus on my career. I want to do this. I want to do that. Okay, cool. Or is it that you can't get the guy that you want? Brother Cody is saying they want the title, slant, accomplishment, not the responsibility. It's a lot of responsibility to be in a relationship, to be a wife, to be a husband, to be a mom, to be a dad. A lot of responsibility. I mean, in our society, they say they want to do what's best for the child. What's best for the child is to have that stable relationship, if possible. What's best for the child is a nuclear family. But we're not going to force anybody to stay together. Okay, cool. And we're going to incentivize people to be ripped apart. I mean, we monetize children, bro. Like the family court system with respect to child support is ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's every incentive in the world is to keep that child away from one parent or the other over money. If a person is thinking about money, that's the incentive. The more time I get with the kid means the less time you get with the child and the more money you have to pay me, whether you male or female. That's just how the system works. We're going to incentivize or monetize this child and expect great things to happen. Come on, man. That's just, let's continue.
Affect them. That can be a bad thing. So unfortunately, it does make it difficult. Knowing too much is difficult. Yeah, unfortunately.
And I guess Dubai is a very unique place. Although it has its similarities to a lot of major cities around the world. Dubai it's fascinating.
It's very it's an incredible learning curve when you're watching how couples evolve in Dubai. There's very unique problems in Dubai.
How long have you been here for?
2.5 years. Yeah. And what I find in Dubai is the only city in the world where the women run circles on the men without the men having a clue. It's the only city in the world. Every other city is the men that are a bit of, the men are annoying or this, that, and the other. This is the only city in the world where the women are running circles on the men and they have no idea.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is there are women out here who've got their house paid for, their rent paid for, they got their car and they got an allowance and they're using that money to go on dates with their boyfriend while their husband's at work. And he thinks he's smart.
Yeah, these are these.
Bro, that's the game, ain't it? That's the game. And it's popping off in Dubai. Everybody's talking about Dubai now. Like old boy's gonna say, and I forget his name, but old boy's gonna say we're not talking about the local women. Some of them might be doing that, but they're from a different culture. They don't want nothing to do with that. They're talking about the women who transplant to Dubai, and she's making a great point. She's making an outstanding point. And here's the thing, I'm not mad. Ladies, if you fine enough and your game is strong enough and you can go to Dubai or Japan or London, you know what I mean, or Frankfurt or wherever, and you can get a guy to buy you a house, to buy you a car, to give you an allowance, to you know what I mean, to keep you, you know, a kept woman, and you can still go out here and smash whoever you want to smash on the side, by all means, make it happen. By all means, make it happen. I ain't mad at all. It just goes to the society that we are in. Now, Sadia believes that this dynamic is the man's fault. I don't share that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's the game. It's the game. That's why I look at it. It is the game. And you know, I don't place blame on either side. It's just the game. 90's in the building. What's good, bro? Peace to you, man. I hope all is well. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday, man. But yeah, if you ladies, if you can get it, get it. I mean, get it. Ain't nobody mad at you. Go ahead and get it if you can. But at the end of the day, you're probably gonna wind up empty. I mean, it's just money and things. But at the end of the day, you know, I think you might lose in the long run. No children, no real purpose in life. You had to smash all these dudes to get it, whatever. I don't know. It's something to think about.
These are local women, by the way.
No, never local. Never local.
These are some of the women that come from,
these are people that come from,
places.
That's it. That's what
they come here. They're on a mission. They know how that's meant.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're so finessable. The guys are the problem here. The women are not the problem. We've got to remember that there's a reason why jobless women come here, because they find men dumb enough to invest all their hard work and energy into a woman simply because she's 20 years younger, or simply because she's his type physically, or simply because she's a yoga instructor. It would be stupid of them not to take advantage of that. The men have lost their ability to see straight when it comes to the women here, and they go for trouble. They look for trouble. There'll be a good, wholesome woman, and there'll be a woman with all the red flags in the world, and they zoom in on that woman.
Yeah.
As we all know.
Yeah, I've definitely been there. I've learned.
Like the fact that she says it's the guy's fault, right? And like the guys are gullible and the guys are stupid. Yeah, I mean, most dudes are. There's, you know, this is why having game is important. This is why dudes need to understand human nature, not just male nature, not just female nature, but human nature. You need to, if you walk into a room and you can't find the mark, then you're probably the mark, right? So you need to understand that and have that kind of game. You got a woman that's, you know, you gunning at or whatever, and she's beautiful, she's sophisticated, she's all these other kind of things, and you realize at some point that you're like, man, I'm spending $30,000 a month on this woman. What's going on? I'm not married to this woman, right? She's not having my kids. She doesn't have my kids. No one in my family knows her. I don't know anything about her. I don't know who she's with, a friend or whatever. Like, bro, at some point you got to realize, you know what I'm saying? The game is on. Now, these dudes, the one thing that she doesn't talk about that I wish she would speak on more is how women and guys are so different fundamentally from the beginning. It's like what Myron Gaines says all the time. He was like, you know, that's why he says, like, you know, dudes should have, you know, this much money, be this old, have slept with this many women. And the number of women he says is 50. The reason he said it at 50 is because by that time, you will have the same mindset when it comes to having sex, relationships, and being able to choose. You can pick out the crowd who's on your level body count wise, right? Because you have that experience. These dudes who get finessed by these women, especially these beautiful women, most of these guys have very limited to none to no experience. Like even the guys who get married, they got married to their high school sweetheart or whatever. They're bored, and they, they're just not, they're not invisible because they're taking care of someone, but they, you know, beautiful women don't find them attractive. They're not getting flirted with and all that. And all of a sudden, here comes this dime. She's flirting with you or whatever, and she's so good at the finesse that you don't even realize that she's famoosing the hell out of you, right? Why doesn't he realize it? Well, he's only ever been with one woman. And he's basing all women on that experience. And I'm talking about them dudes that, like, married the woman he lost his virginity to, or married, maybe he had 2 other women, that he had sex with before he married his wife. Body count of 3. And he's successful and he's all that kind of stuff. Man, shoot, man, that Mata Hari comes around, you know what I mean? That Delilah comes around, man, it's a wrap for you. She is definitely going to run your body, run your pockets. Excuse me, I said body, but run your pockets. I am the single ones in the building. What's good, sis? How you feeling? 50 bodies. Oh, no. Listen, he chose that number. And a lot of people like, man, that's a real high number. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know quite a few women with body counts in that range and higher. And these are just regular, plain Jane women. They went on to get married and they have kids and all that. And for what I know, for the most part, they've been faithful to their husbands from what I know. But before they got married, yeah, I know women that got that many bodies. Right? I don't know many dudes that have that kind of a body count. The run-of-the-mill average guy doesn't really. It's just, that's a high number, and it's hard to get there. It's really hard to get there. Most dudes don't even want to get there. Most dudes really just want a relationship. She talks about this too. Sister Khan talks about this on some of her other videos, other interviews. And I agree with her. Most guys just want a relationship, and the guys want the women to be faithful. That's just really hard. That's just really hard. I mean, I can't say that that's realistic, especially in today's modern world. But what I can say is love me enough to where you don't get caught. For real. And I am the single one for real. Like, just think about some of your friends, not even your friends, like your close friends, but associates, people you have known, throughout your life, especially like in college and all that kind of stuff. Think of some women like, I guarantee you know at least 10 women with a body count of 50 or higher. I guarantee it. And I'm not saying like that's your homegirl, like that's your partner. I'm just women, loose associates. If you in a sorority, yeah, you know more than 10. Because them women in the sorority, man, they be getting it in, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't mad at them. Again, I'm not mad. And the women that I'm talking about, they got these high body counts, you'll never prove it because they didn't film nothing. Nothing. Granted, this technology that exists today did not exist when we were kids. But, Polaroids did. We had film, right? There's no proof of them out there thirst trapping or smashing a bunch of dudes. There's no proof. There's no video. We had Betamax and we had camcorders. There's no proof. Like I said, plausible deniability only works when there is no proof. Brother Cody is saying any woman who has been to Dubai is a 304 or not to be trusted or both. I got friends who were in did they go to Dubai? I think they went to Dubai. I know they was in UAE. I know they were in Bahrain and places like that. Yeah, I think they did go to Dubai. They asked me to go. I don't like the Middle East. It's really hard to get me to go to the Middle East. I don't like the Middle East. So but they went and they were telling me about it, bro. They were like, man, it was crazy. Yeah, and this was over 20 years ago, about 15, 20 years ago when they went. They're like, bro, they were going to get they were looking in to some air traffic controller jobs over there because you can be an air traffic controller working over there and make a ton of money. You can, they got some really lucrative contracts to where you're making, like $230,000 a year, 3-year contract or something like that. And that doesn't even include overtime. You get separate, different allowances for housing and stuff like that. That's paid vacation time, which includes 2 first-class flights to wherever you want to go for your vacation, and you can come home. Great deals. I think they still offer that for air traffic controllers. So, yeah, they were over there looking into that, and they were like, bro, the women, they were telling me it was so many professionals over there at the hotels where they were staying and all that. I'm like, in Dubai? He was like, yeah, bro. Like, it was crazy. Like, you would think what happened to stoning? Like, well, we know they do that in Saudi Arabia, but they ain't doing it over there in Dubai. So it was just one of those Just one of those things. But I'm telling you, women out there getting it because they can. You know what I mean? Brother Cody's like, don't need proof, just reasonable suspicion. Yeah, and that's where the trust comes in. That's where the trust comes in. And if you lose that trust, it's a wrap. Sis Lady Lavor's in the building. What's good, sis? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's get back to the video.
For my mistakes. And yeah, when I see red flags now, I know I either swerve it completely or I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah, that's
I think that's very important. If you are dating in Dubai, you just need to understand what you could potentially be getting
That's
into.
what the thing is. They think that because they're rich and they provide for her, she's not going to go anywhere. What they don't know is the women in Dubai, you are one of 50 rich men they know. They know 50 millionaires. They know 50 men in that industry. So if you think your money is going to keep her, you're deluded, unfortunately. Your competition isn't other men. Your competition is what she's out here for, her goal. And if her goal is simply to collect, it doesn't matter if you're the best man in the room, you're going to get finessed.
It's interesting because I always...
This is coming from a woman who knows what time it is. This is why I appreciate her. I think not most, but a lot of women understand this fundamentally, but they will not vocalize it. The fact that she comes out and says, hey, man, this is what it is. You know what I mean? And old boy over there, he's a 1%er. You know what I mean? And he checks that 1% box on every matrix or metric. And he's over there like, yeah, man, you got to be careful dating over here. And it goes to what Brother Cody just said. If they in Dubai, bro, she's a 304. Look out, homie. She over there by herself. There's a lot to that. Is she over there with her cousin, her brother, her dad, her husband? No, she's over there by herself. All right, man. She getting it in. Right? She getting it in. Let's continue.
Try and figure out why is it that a woman has gone down this route? Why is she taking this path? There's these choices which they make which kind of require the least amount of work.
Yeah.
They will obviously most likely have to sacrifice quite a lot of self-respect and their pride in order to achieve what it is that they want to achieve. But why is that happening?
I think what I've noticed is that there's no reward in being a traditional good woman anymore. If you are a traditional woman who's got no, pictures on Instagram, who isn't going out all day, every day, who isn't sleeping around and isn't getting lots of surgery and not putting on loads of makeup, and you're simple, just a traditional woman, there's no reward in that. You will never find a date. You'll never find a man that says, here, let me take you out. Here, let me do this. Whereas if you are the most promiscuous, provocative, dangerous woman, your DMs are endless and you are booked every single day of the week and you get to choose which country you want to fly out to. So humans are going to look at where's the most reward and they're going to...
I don't agree with that at all. And that's one of the very few things that I absolutely fundamentally disagree with that Sister Khan has said. I don't agree with that at all. There are women who value their chastity. They want a husband. They want to be a wife. They want to be a mom. They want to build a family. There are women out there like that, even in the first world. There are a lot of women out there. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make up a number here, but I would say at least 51%. You know what I mean? I hate to make up numbers, but this time, I just lied to you. I love making up numbers, but this time I'm hesitant to do it. But I would like to believe that 51% of women, they want that relationship. The women who are going out there, getting the experiences, getting the money, thirst trapping and all that, we see them. It's like the squeaky wheel. They're gonna get the grease. They're gonna get the attention. I'm really shocked that Sister Khan said there's no reward for being a traditional woman. Dudes are gonna overlook you so they can go over to this 304. That's not true. What they're doing is they're going for the low-hanging fruit, right? That traditional woman is gonna take work, a lot of work, a lot of energy. And if his mission is he just wants to smash, right, he's gonna go right over to the 304. You know what time it is. Man, she's trying to smash. All I gotta do is take her somewhere. You know what I mean? She already likes me. I can make her smile or whatever. I can fake it like I got bread. I'm gonna be able to smash by the time she figure out I ain't really, You know, by the time she figures out I'm a broke already head, that's all I care about. So maybe it appears to some women that they're being overlooked and they're being undervalued by guys. And then she says this about all men. I guarantee you, I'll bet anything that she's not talking about the bottom 80%. When she talks about Sister Khan, I've noticed this, when she talks about men, she's talking about the top 20%. She's not talking about the bottom 80. And I'm surprised that no one's actually asked her, like, what percentage of men do you believe think this? The guy, the barista at Starbucks is trying to get a regular woman in his eyes, or any woman really. The barista, the guy at Starbucks, he knows he can't get Sister Khan. He can't get a top tier woman. He knows he can't get that. He can't get Brittany Renner. He can't get any other, you name the 304s out there. He knows he can't get that. He wants the regular woman. He wants the woman that doesn't have a social media presence. He wants the woman that comes in there, is working really hard. That's who he wants. He's not overlooking the traditional woman. That traditional woman is overlooking him because she wants the best. And this is where I fundamentally disagree with Sister Khan with that statement right there. It's just crazy. Brother Cody is saying these days they are delusioned and propagandized to take pride in the degeneracy and selfish behavior, and that brainwashing doesn't dissipate till after they realize it's game over. Yeah. I mean, and the game has changed too. Like I said, everyone we're all victims of our surroundings. The traditional women are, I'm pretty sure some women out there like, man, I lost out on these top tier guys. I couldn't get them, or he only just smashed me or whatever. So, and old girl, she got all this stuff. So I'm just going to do what she did so I can at least get something out of it. Maybe that happens. But again, they're not looking at the regular dudes. They're looking at the top 20 guys. They're not looking at anyone in the bottom 80. You know what I mean? I mean, Brother Cody is saying if dude won't date you because you don't smash, you don't smash, you dodged a bullet, not missed a shot. Yeah, that's right. You dodged a bullet. You know what I mean? But again, people want attention, and attention is the new currency. I would take it to the next level. I would say attention is the new religion these days. People gotta have it. If you're on social media, you are there for the attention, especially if your stuff isn't private, your stuff is public, you're just constantly on there. You're there for attention. That's why you're there. Let's continue.
Going to lean towards whatever's the easiest and most rewarding and profitable, unfortunately.
It's a shame because I'm doing this podcast and I want it to be fairly even in terms of like the male guests and the female guests.
Yeah.
So I'm actively looking for female guests, but I know lots of women who have built up a large following.
Yeah.
But how they've done that is by usually exposing themselves.
Yeah, it's questionable.
So it's difficult to find women out there who are, they have a decent job. They're hardworking. There's someone who other women would sort of respect. It's not easy. It's
impossible because, and that's what makes it difficult for women who aren't along those lines, because they're thinking, I don't know, especially when you look on social media, they're thinking, my guy's never bought me a handbag. My husband's never taken me to these nice places. My guy's never done that. And then you take a woman who's incredibly promiscuous online and whatever she wants in life, she gets to get. So you start to realize that men reward promiscuity, they reward toxicity, they reward non-traditional values, but then they claim they want a good woman. And then you're like, this is strange. What they're saying and what they're doing is different. Look at,
I get, again, she's talking about the top 20%. If a woman is married to an average man and she's mad at her average guy who's working at UPS, not making $100,000 a year, y'all keep saying those UPS drivers making $100,000 a year. No, they're not. And the ones who will be making that money are the senior guys, and that'll be 4 years from now. But if you got a guy who's just out there working, he's making $70,000, $80,000 a year. You guys have been married since you graduated high school, and you've been a stay-at-home mom, and y'all living in what y'all can afford. Y'all came up doing when interest rates were real low, got a pretty decent house in a nice neighborhood, great schools, right? So you can afford to stay home. He's out working overtime, working double shifts. So, y'all can put away a little money, maybe take a little vacation every now and then, every other year. If that woman is mad because she doesn't have an Hermes bag, she doesn't have Louis Vuitton backpack, she doesn't have Burberry slippers or whatever, and she doesn't have the best cologne or perfume out there. If she's mad at her dude for not providing that, she's out of her mind. Because what she has that Instagram 304 doesn't have is she has children, she has a husband who's dedicated to her, she has a roof over her head, and she's able to live that traditional life. That YouTube thot's never gonna get that. She's never gonna get that. Yeah, she's got the Birkin, she's got, she's got the Chanel, right? She's got all that stuff, but she's utterly lonely. She is alone, and she knows these guys are buying her. She's for sale to the highest bidder. Right. So some people don't have a problem with that, but I would argue most do. So if that woman who had that guy that's working real hard and she's looking at the Instagram woman talking about, well, she's getting rewarded. Is she? Is she really getting rewarded? Or is she a human porta potty? Or is she getting some dude busting her face every day? Right? Is she's involved in these threesomes and foursomes and fivesomes, and she's out here doing some of the worst things you could think of so she can get that new Birkin. And at the end of it, when they're both 60, and the traditional woman is a grandma, a great grandma, and she's watched these kids grow up and go do great things, and they're taking care of her. What's that Instagram thought doing? Nothing. No one even sees her. Now she's like in the bottom 80. She's a basement dweller, and she's sitting around. No children, no legacy, no protection, just sitting there, surrounded with all these things that she got. And I would guess that those things, I would wager that all those things she's looking at reminds her of what she had to do to get it. What did you have to do to get that Mercedes? What did you have to do to get that Chanel bag? What did you have to do to get them, Versace glasses or Prada glasses or whatever? What did you have to do to get those red bottoms, those Louboutins? Right? I just don't agree with her there. I just don't agree with her there. I am the single one saying there's no such thing as promiscuity online. She's confusing social media image with private life. She could be. Men don't reward promiscuity with long-term commitment and provisioning. Facts. These women she's seeing gets everything they want are only winning in the short term. Traditional women win the long game. Facts, man. Facts. And this is the one place where I fundamentally disagree with her. We're gonna watch just a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna jump over to another video that she did that she talks about the wall. And that one, the one we're gonna look at next is like I really disagree with what she's saying. I think it's bad.
What they're saying, they want good traditional women, but look at what they're investing in. They're investing in the woman with her entire body out, and a lot of the other things men will say is, I want a natural woman, no makeup. But you see who they're following on Instagram. It's nothing but surgeries, fillers, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, you're saying this, but what are you actually investing your time and energy into and your resources into?
Well, I was doing some research before this podcast, looking at your Instagram page and like the interview you did with Tam and Tate.
Yes. Yeah.
And it actually made me think, who
am I following?
Yeah. And I know there's definitely some accounts which... questionable accounts.
Of course.
And then I realized I'm a part of the problem because by following them,
you're giving them
I'm supporting them
success.
in a weird way.
Well, it's not in a weird way, it's in a direct way. Not just you, but it's everybody. Like if I learn that if I just post a picture of my cooking and if I post a picture of like me just teaching my kids something, no one's rewarding that. But if I post a picture of me in my bikini and I get 10,000 followers and I get brand deals as a result of that and I get free clothes and I get free makeup, we're looking at the women, but really women are the supply. The demand is who are they going towards? The men are investing in there's men out there that will pay 10 grand for a picture of a woman's feet.
Yeah.
And there's another woman who's thinking, okay, I can go to university, study, and then, do something. Or another girl can post a picture of her feet and then make that same money in a day. And then we're going to think, what are young, impressionable women who don't have father figures or don't have people that are supporting them at home? Where are they going to go?
That's a good point there. She said, don't have father figures. She's talking about getting validation from a bunch of strangers from the world, via technology. So when I talk to people and they say technology doesn't affect the dating game at all, technology isn't that bad, people exaggerate it. No. This technology, social media destroyed it. Everything. And whatever it touches turns to crap. It turns to crap. You know what I mean? I'm the single one. She's saying, if men truly value their traditional women, why wouldn't they shower them with rewards? They do as best they can. Again, she's talking about the top 20. So if you got a guy who's into traditional women, he'll have a traditional woman at home. She gets showered with stuff. She has all those things, right? She's getting the van. What's that? The van, whatever jewelry that is that all the women are wearing now. She's getting all the purses. She has the car. She has the houses. She has the beach houses. She has the nanny. She has all that. She has all that. And if the dude is one of those guys who was like, I just want you, you're the only person I'm going to sleep with, then great. That woman probably won't leave that guy, because when you reach that level, they tend to stay together. Divorce rate drops off after a certain amount. It really drops off big. She's cool. That lady won the game. And even if she's in a situation where the guy's out there, he's smashing 3 or 4s all the time, she doesn't care because she has everything. And ideally, he told her that's what he's going to be doing. He does it in a safe manner. That's what they agreed to do. Grown up business. It is what it is. Right. And then those guys, those women who are unhappy are the ones that their guys are out there smashing these chicks. Like John F. Kennedy was banging Marilyn Monroe. Right. And Jackie Onassis. Right. She was just like, this sucks. There's nothing she could do about it, though, because women stayed. They stayed. Plus, they're at a different level. But they stayed, right? But, the women who have regular dudes, if the regular dudes could buy her a Porsche every 3 years, he would. But he can't. He can't afford it. He can't afford to buy her a $50,000 purse, right? He can't afford to buy her $6,000 shoes or $800 sunglasses. He can't afford to buy a $1,200 bottle of perfume. He can't afford to take her out to dinner that's going to cost, $3,000 at you name the spot. You know what I mean? He can't do it. And then women get mad. It's like, well, he just can't do it. And if she really wants more, if she doesn't value him, then she going to do what she going to do. Brother Cardi was saying they do, especially compared to the trash that sent home in the morning or that night. They do it. And I'm the single one saying, okay, all right, I hear you. Men 100% uphold what they call 304 culture. Men want variety. They really do. Like, there's certain dudes who are able to suppress that urge to spread their seed or whatever, but most dudes do it because out of necessity, because they want that one woman. But if left to their own devices, they would have multiple women. That is, do you hear that on the red pill side in the manosphere a lot? You hear that Fresh and Fit Myron says that a lot. Hey man, he ain't lying. I mean, if a dude could, he would. But most dudes cannot. But women can. Women can. Women go out, do what they want to do, especially now. They'll go out, experiment, have all kind of great situations with all these dudes and whatever. And then, okay, I'm ready to settle down. And I'm ready to have a family. I'm going to, whatever. And the guys are just like, well, if I want to keep her, I better be honest. Or maybe the guys are like me, like, I don't feel like putting in all the work. I'm not trying to do all that. That's too much work to run a rotation. I've done it before. But, to say that she's pointing out men's hypocrisy, again, you're talking about the top 20% of dudes. Right. And I include the broke guys who are good. The Pookies and Ray Rays, I include them in the top 20. The broke dudes who know how to talk women out of, into the bed. If you're a guy and you're getting sexual access, right? If you're a guy, you get that you're a special dude. That's how difficult it is for men to get sexual access from women. For women could go out right now and smash anybody they want to smash. It is what it is. But dudes, it takes a lot of work. A lot of work. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it is what it is. And thanks for that, sis. Yeah, please like the video, guys. Please like the video. Share it if you want. You know what I mean? Like, deal, you uphold dirty drinking water if you drink it when there is nothing else available. I mean, if I got to drink, listen, when I'm in the woods and, you know, things are crazy and society done fell off, I got iodine tablets. So my water is never really going to be dirty. I'm going to drop those iodine tablets in there and shake it up, maybe put a little Kool-Aid in there so it don't taste as bad. But if I got to drink dirty water, I'm going to use something to treat it as best I can to kind of protect myself, right? So that's my answer to that, bro. But yeah, just a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna get to that. There's a video she had when she was talking about body count.
This was an interesting scenario. When I was in Bali, I got speaking to I think she was either Filipino or she was from I think she was from Indonesia. So it's a
oh yeah, I'm gonna stop it there because he's about to talk about a young woman that had to do OF because she had no other choice really. In a poor country, born into a poor family, and all she had was her beauty. She leveraged that beauty for money. She made enough money to pull her family out of the situation they were in. She got them all out of poverty. Like, that's good. You get that. Like, all right, I get it. But even then, she had to make a sacrifice. She had to make a sacrifice. And because it's public, because there's a record of it, it's going to be hard for her to get a certain type of guy. Again, if she's trying to get like a top 5, top 10% guy, and he will find that account. He will see what she was doing for money. He'll hear the story and be like, all right, it's cool, but I doubt if he will accept that. Maybe there's some guys who will, but if she wants to just get a regular dude, she's getting a dude from the bottom 80, he won't care what she did, especially if she ain't really like that. If she was just like, look, I had to do what I had to do to get my family out, but I dig you. I have my own money, so I don't need anything from you. I just want, I want to, and if he's, she tells him all this stuff and he's like, yeah, I love you. Let's get married. I can see that happening. But, the higher you go up that ladder, closer you get to the top, right? It's like, they're like, I don't know about that, bro. So here's another video. And this video is from Sister Khan's page. So she was on someone else's podcast. Let's pull this up. And I really want to put this, talk about this because she was talking about the wall and stuff like that. And I think this would be good to talk about. This would be real good to talk about. And Brother Cody, I know you're being sarcastic, man. I get it. I ain't mad, bro. I ain't mad at you at all, man. It's just, the game has changed so much, y'all. And we ain't never going back. As long as this technology exists, we ain't never going back. The game has changed so much. I don't have any answers. Again, my thing is just be the ignorance of it all. Like, I'm just gonna be ignorant about this, and don't let me catch you. If you're out there messing around, don't let me catch you. If I catch you, I'm moving on. And every dude is different. I'm the kind of guy, like, if I find what I'm looking for in a woman, I'm gonna be with her. I'm not messing around. I'm gonna keep myself out of a situation where I could mess around. That's just what I'm gonna do. But I understand that that's gonna take work, and that's the sacrifice I'm making because this is what I want. But I just been with so many married women, and it's just the trust factor. It's like I can't ignore it. I can't just act like that didn't happen. So when I meet people, it's like, all right, this is what it is. I'm gonna give it a try. But I'm paying attention. I don't have anybody out there. I don't have a PI tracking her or nothing like that. But I'm paying attention. And, some old flame from back in the day pops from out of nowhere and you don't tell me the truth of who he is. That's just my cousin. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Like, okay. And Brother Penny saying that, there's no hypocrisy. Men have 2 categories for women, short-term and long-term. Women get treated differently based on the category they get placed in. Facts. There are guys who do operate like that. There's some guys out there who just, the one-itis clan. They get the one woman who pays them any attention. They just lock on. They're going to suffocate, smother that woman, whatever. But you got guys out there who know what they're doing. They're going to sit back and they're just going to watch. They pay attention. Like, all right, she did this. Okay. All right, cool. She did that. Oh, all right. You know what I mean? And it's like you paying attention. You know, and if you got a woman who decides to go help a friend, I'm gonna go help my friend, not tell you about it and like give the guy money or something like that. Why didn't you tell me that you was gonna go over there and give this guy money? Why didn't you tell me you're gonna go pick up Chad and drive him across town or something like that? Why didn't you tell me? Why are you hiding that from me? Now it's a trust issue. Like, well, we didn't do anything. Yeah, but you kept it from me. How am I supposed to believe you? You didn't do nothing. Why are you hiding? I tell you about everything. I tell you about all the stuff I'm doing. Hey, I'm about to go get, you know what I mean, LaShonda. And I'm going to take LaShonda home, or I'm going to go help her find her dog. She lost her dog or whatever. And if you say, I don't want you doing it, all right, fine. LaShonda, you're on your own. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it. But you're going to go out there and go pick up Chad and not tell me about it? Okay, fine. I'm not going to argue with you or nothing. You just got placed into a different category. It's like what Brother Pitney is saying. You just got placed into a different category, just that fast. You know, Brother Cody is saying killing people can be done for good too. Yep. Could lift your family out of poverty, doesn't make it good. Facts. And here's the thing. That woman decided to do what she was going to do. She has to live with the consequences. That's all I'm saying. She has to live with the consequences. Yeah, it doesn't make it good or acceptable. I agree with you, man. She has to live with the consequences. And if that means she's never going to get the highest value man that she can, she's never going to get a 1%er or 8%er or 10%er. She's only going to be able to get a guy from the bottom 80, a regular dude. I can't get a 10. I'm gonna have to get me a 6 or a 7. It's like you still 1 or 2 spots above average, baby. You did good. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? But let's check out this part right here. She's gonna talk about body count. And then we'll probably have to actually do another video about her at some other time because, yeah, it's so much more that they were saying that I wanted to talk about today. We're just not going to have time to do it. But let's check out what she was talking about with body count. She made another reference to Myron on this. Let's check this out.
For female partners.
Well, what's happening is men think that they're in control more than they actually are. Men think they're the picks because, especially with the podcast scene, they'll tell you, oh, women, she ages out at 30, or this woman, Myron, dumbass. But they'll say women age out at 30, women, your timeline is so short. They don't realize that for women, especially in this day and age, the timeline is endless. When a woman turns 20, she's got every guy from 18 to 30 following her and messaging her. But when she turns 30, she's just got the same amount of men just pushed forward. It's 30 to 40. When she's 40, there are still men 40 to 60 seeing her as a young chick. If she's attractive, her queue is endless. Mm-hmm. And what men think is, oh, but she's 35, she's over. Oh, but she's been with guys. So it doesn't work like that anymore because.
Now, see, again, this is something I fundamentally disagree with her on and completely disagree with her on. You know what I mean? That's not how it works. If there's any ladies out here who just kind of curious or whatever, that's not how it works. Men from 17 to 80 find the same demographic, the same cohort of women most attractive. And that's that 18 to 26 range. It is what it is. That's what they find most attractive. As a woman ages, she goes from having all the attention she can possibly handle. Everywhere she goes is a dude trying to get at her. Why? Because she's in that cohort. She goes from that to, all right, she's like 27 to 35 range now. All right, let's say she's still fit, she's still fine. Let's say she's older, but she's still fine. Now she's not getting as much attention. She hasn't noticed it yet, but she's not getting as much attention. Why? Because she's competing with her younger self. And the older she gets, the harder it is to compete. So those older dudes who look at her and say, yeah, she still looks good for her age, the majority of those guys aren't trying to get married. Maybe when she's in that 27 to 35 range, like, okay, maybe she's single, she didn't have any kids, she's done well for herself, she's kept herself in shape. Okay, cool. He's gonna try to holler at her. The top tier dude, the top 5%ers, nah, they probably won't be interested because they want kids. They're not going to be interested in women who are slightly older, right? The rest, you know what I'm saying? Like you start looking at the the bottom 95, the bottom 85, those guys are like, yeah, man, she's still fine. She's still up there. They know they can't get the youngin that they want. They can't get the 25-year-old. So I'm going to go ahead and get this 34-year-old, right? When she gets into that 36 and up, that's when she realizes she doesn't get the attention. Even if she still has the body and everything, that's when she realizes, man, these guys just want to smash. They're not, especially the guys that she's chasing. One of the things that Sister Khan does not acknowledge is that all women, the vast majority of women, want the best that they can get. So they're looking at the top 20. So if you're 45 years old, you're competing for the same guys that 23-year-old is competing for. It just, the odds are just against you. Could you get one? Yeah, it's possible. It's not likely, but it's possible. You can get one. And that part right there, the line of men are endless, because as she gets older, those guys are getting older and she's still young. I don't agree with that one bit.
Before, it might have been like that because everybody in your town has coupled up. But now, especially if she's got an open Instagram profile, the offers are endless.
I want to ask you about OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
So from just like meeting some people and stuff, like the funnel, if I will, of OnlyFans is literally wild. So like,
I don't know. Can you tell me about that?
I'll give you a full disclosure of it. Right? So
do
some people,
do most girls make money, or is it just a tiny percentage of women?
So it's like anything. It's, you know, it's skewed to the top. The people at the top make a shitload, 100K, 50K, 75K a month.
Wow.
And some then make zero, some then make $200. So the average is like $500 a month. And the reason why that is because it's skewed towards people who make.
Right. Okay.
So there's like, let's say like 10 million users, but only 100,000 make all the money.
Yeah.
Okay. But like people are trying to get
with anything in life.
Like with anything, especially even like podcasting, right? But the funnel, if you will, if you're familiar with like sales funnels, right, is that they have Instagram, they're in Dubai, they're in Bali, they're in Ibiza.
Like dude was talking about the OF game and how the top tier women actually have men, homosexual men, actually working for them and the guys will get a percentage. You know, I guess she would send all the pictures or whatever to the guy will upload or whatever and do the back and forth. Yeah, that makes sense for me. That makes complete sense to me. But you know, she just doesn't understand or refuses to acknowledge that it does change. And Cody is right, man. And I said this early in this broadcast. I was like, bro, man, she mad because she's in that cohort. She's older, and she's mad about that. You know what I mean? And it is delusional thinking the same amount want her for anything other than the smash. And that's true. I mean, you look at someone like her, man, she's fine, bro. But even if I was to meet her, I'm like, man, she's cool. She looks cool. But I just thinking like, I've never got a chance to smash a Pakistani. This could be all right. That's all I'm thinking. I'm not thinking beyond that. And it's just kind of like, cool. If she wants to do it, we can do it. If not, I mean, she's cool to talk to. You know, we can have a conversation or whatever. But there are videos out there when she says that she's very difficult. She's very difficult to be with. That was in the video, the podcast we were watching earlier. I'm definitely going to do a second. I'm going to do another one so we can reach that part. And that happens too. That's another thing too. They don't realize as you get older, you know, all these things have gone on. You got all this experience, good and bad, right? You're carrying some emotional scars. All of us, men too. But for men, I believe those scars and that adversity is what we need to make us better men. I don't think it works the same for women. It hurts. And dudes can sense it. So why would I deal with this fine 32-year-old, but you know, she has the trauma when the 22-year-old doesn't have the trauma, or the 27-year-old doesn't have as much trauma? That all plays into it. Guys are going to look at that. You know, it's just crazy. And Brother Pitney's right, man. Men are universally attracted to young women, roughly around the age of 22. Yeah. You know, Brother Dino is saying, me knowing her culture, if she isn't married now, she on the top shelf. Mom and dad, very, very sad. Woo. Woo. And I think in China, they call them leftover women or whatever. But the thing is, she has one foot grounded in the Western world and she has the other foot grounded in the Eastern world. And guess what? She getting what she want to get. Eventually she will find a dude. And she has said in some interviews that women need to basically understand where they are and get what they can get. So she basically said women should date down. She didn't use that exact term, but she's like, women need to understand that. And, you know, again, she says so many things that make sense. If she truly understands that, then she's going to adjust her sights as she gets older. She'll absolutely find a dude. Now, will she be able to, will that guy stay with her? Don't know. Don't know. Yeah, because like her parents are crying. Yeah, because that culture, man, they don't play. They expect you to be married by like what, 20, 22 years old. Yeah, her culture is arranged marriages, no messing about with boys to dishonor the family name. Yeah, she's well into that, bro. She's no virgin. Come on now, she's out there doing her thing. She's out there doing her thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, like she massaged my back. Hey, bro, you tripping, Cody? And brother Don was like, DL, you smash. You could be leaving Dubai in a suitcase. I could be leaving Dubai in a suitcase. Yeah, you know, that's why I don't go to the Middle East, bro. I don't go to the Middle East. I you know, I like to go to countries where I get my hands on weapons too. And you know, a woman like this, I wouldn't. If I'm in Dubai, man, I ain't really trying to talk to nobody, especially any locals, man. I'm not trying to talk to any locals. I'm not messing around with that culture. If I catch you in the West, it's on. Right? If I catch you anywhere in the West, it's all good. But if I, you know, over there, nah, bro. That part of the world, nah, I'm cool. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want nothing to do with it. Are the women over there beautiful? Yes. Yes, they are. Middle Eastern women, oh my God, gorgeous. Syrian women, you know what I mean? Lebanese, oh my God, man. Beautiful. Egyptian women, woo. Beautiful. All through Africa, man, every shade you can think of, beautiful, man. But man, Middle East, man, I ain't like Afghan. I've seen some beautiful Afghan women, women from India, just gorgeous. But I'm not messing around over there. I'm not messing around over there, bro. Like it's just that certainly isn't worth it to me. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Even if I met a woman I was serious about, the culture is just gonna clash. I'm not Muslim. You know what I mean? I understand Islam, but I don't rock like that. You know what I mean? So there's that, right? There's a clash right there. There's that between the families. You know, I'll eat some bacon every now and then. You know what I mean? I like sausage links. You know what I mean? With my scrambled eggs and my pancakes. So yeah, bro. I'm not about that. But you know, there are guys over there who love it. They do what they do. There are Western men who go over there. There's a lot of dudes going to Dubai and they love it over there for whatever reason. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. You know what I mean? I know guys that go over there and convert. You know, Christian their whole life. They go over there and they, you know, it's Islam from them. You know, it's all about Allah. I ain't mad at them. Great. And they've changed their lives. It's a great thing. You see it like, man, this dude used to be a wreck. Now, you know what I'm saying? He's on the path to greatness. You know what I mean? And inshallah, I think that's how they say it. You know what I mean? God willing. Good. You know, I'm good. And I've seen it over here with, you know, feminist women, westernized women who will claim Islam, but they still hold on to femininity. They won't pray behind their man. They'll want to, I'm gonna pray next to you. We are partners. I mean, we over here in the West. Ain't nobody stoning me. They become that quarrelsome woman. And all the religious texts say the same thing about quarrelsome women. You know what I mean? Inshallah. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm a single one. Let me drop the link real quick in case anybody wants to say something. But it's, you know, it's the same thing happens in Christianity. And people out here trying to change what's written. You know what I mean? This, you know, nah, we don't agree with that. So we want to change it. We want to modify this. We want a Bible that includes LGBTQ or whatever. Like the Bible has a pretty firm stance on that. That's already been established, you know, in the text. And people were just like, no, we want to change it. Okay. You can't do that in Islam. I'm telling you right now. He's not over in the Middle East. You might be able to get away with it over here. I don't know. You know what I mean? It just, the Torah is already set in stone. Like, you know, the Quran is set in stone. You know what I mean? King James Version, pretty much set in stone. Like, it is what it is. But, you know, that statement though, like, women have a endless amount of men waiting in line for them. That's simply terrible advice to give modern women. That's the problem. You got these women now who back in the 80s, late 70s and 80s, bought into feminism. Now here they are, utterly alone and miserable. And they're all coming out. And they're like, men don't see me anymore. They don't have any kids. They can't have kids. You know, maybe they go out and teach, or maybe they go out and adopt. You know, they got a lot of dogs and cats. You know what I mean? Maybe a couple ferrets and a hamster. But that doesn't, I mean, you just see it, man, like just broke. You see it in their eyes, like, bro. And they're like, man, I made a mistake. I was lied to. And then it goes into this whole victim thing. It wasn't my fault. Like, you chose that life. All those men that were pursuing you for all them years, all them dudes you had in the friendship zone, in the friend zone, you know what I mean? Ooh, you know what? There was one other thing. I'm glad, you know what? Let me go back to the other video. Sister Khan talked about the friend zone. I want you guys to hear what she had to say about the friend zone. And like I said, she was so on point with her stuff, right? She was talking about body counts. You know, we have to come back to that because I don't really agree with what she was saying with body count. So let's listen to this: making the first move, rejection, and then it rolls into who pays for a date, and then we'll jump ahead to the friend zone, right? So let's do that right now. As a matter of fact, you know what? We're just gonna start with the friend zone thing. Let's start with the friend zone, and then we'll jump back to the other one.
From women. This is all it boils down to. If you are trying to contact a woman and you're getting delayed response and busy scheduling, she's not interested. It's really that simple. When a woman likes you, she will cancel plans. She cancels plans. She responds immediately. She becomes available. When she doesn't really like you that much, she's unavailable. It's really that simple. I always think you as a man friend zone yourself. People can friend zone themselves or they don't. How you friend zone yourself is by not making your intentions clear. There are men that I'm friends with, but are still not in my friend zone because they'll always make a flirty comment. They'll always remind me that they're interested in some way, shape. And I'm trying to put you in the friend zone and you keep coming out of it.
That's how you do it, gentlemen. This is all part of the game. If you're gamed up and you know what you're doing and you see a woman trying to put you in the friend zone, man, you got to talk about how sexy she is. You know what I mean? You got to ask her for a hug. And when she gives you that little bridge hug or whatever, like, nah, baby, you got to give me a real hug. Oh, she'll give you the real hug. You know what I mean? She'll get it to you because she know you trying to get out. You got to let her know, like, baby, I'm not your friend. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get it in.
So I can't put them in a friend zone.
Do you think men and women could be friends?
Yeah, I do. But it takes a level of, like, both of them have to not be attracted to each other. Yeah, and I think you miss out on life when you aren't friends with the opposite sex. You miss out on so much in life because there's so many times where you might be fighting with your partner and you talk to your female friend and she's like, I can't believe you said that to you. And you talk to your male friend and you're like, don't be stupid. You know what that means? He's just a bit tired, blah, blah, blah. And they give you so much free game. They give you so much free advice. All of my videos, a lot of people will be like, how do you understand the male brain so well? A lot of the time it's because I'll call a male friend and they'll tell me this is what it means when your man is doing this. This is what it means when he does that. They tell you everything.
Do you think if they had the opportunity, they would?
Absolutely. They're not blind. They'll do it, but they're not going to have the opportunity. Yeah, they're not going to. It's not about would they, it's the could they. If there's no could, then they can't. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she keeps it 100. She keeps it 100. Your male friends, if they had an opportunity to smash, would they smash? She's like, yeah, of course yes, they would. And I would argue that 98% of women understand that. I would argue that. People say, nah, bro. They say most women don't understand that. They believe the guys in the friend zone and, you know, they're just friends. And, you know, you may be right. You may be right. Everyone's just kind of living in la-la land. But, like, you could try to friend zone me all you want. But I ain't on that. And I'll tell you, like, nah, man, I ain't trying to be your friend. You want me to be your friend? You got to put me on with one of your friends. Right? I invested some time trying to get at you. You don't want to get at me, that's fine. Right? So what's up with your girl over there? What's up with little shorty? You know what I mean? What's up with Nene over there? What's up with her? You know what I mean? What's up with your girl Susie over there? Put me on. And if she says no, she refuses to let me smash girls in her circle, that tells me she wants to holler at me. So I'm like, well, I tell you what, when you make up your mind, somebody gonna have to do something. Right? You make up your mind, you let me know. In the meantime, I'll holler at you later. You coming over tomorrow? Mm-mm. Can I come over? Mm-mm. Can I come watch the game? Nope. Are you going to so-and-so? Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Can I come with you? Nope. Well, if I show up, can I sit at your table? Nope. You know what I mean? Nope, I ain't playing this game. Come over here when you ready to play. You ready to play? You ready to play? All right, come on. Come through. If you out there and you single like that, that's how you gotta be. That's how you gotta be. That don't play around with that friend zone thing, gentlemen.
See, this is a big problem I've had in a lot of my relationships.
Yeah.
It's having other female friends because.
And then he goes in to talk about, because this is a top tier dude. He talks about how women don't want him to go, oh, you know what? We're going to play this out. We're going to play this out because she actually says some stuff that'll give you an idea of what type of relationship she likes to run.
It has tended to be the case that they've
interested?
not well, I don't know if they're interested or not. Maybe they are, but they've been attractive.
Right.
That's a problem.
Okay.
So I can actually be friends with an attractive woman.
Yeah.
So I have discipline. Like I don't feel the need to sleep with every single attractive woman I see. If I did, I wouldn't get anything done.
Yeah.
So I have these female friends and I want to continue having those relationships with them, usually because they're very intelligent.
Yeah.
And just spending time with them, I learn a lot, or they're very good contact to have.
Yeah, they're amazing.
But I have had so many arguments about this because they don't believe me.
But you know what? I think that, like I said, you gain so much. And I think that men that don't have female friends, they hypersexualize women. They get nervous around women. They think women are this really strange enigma. They lose their ability to have charm around women. But when you have lots of female friends, you realize they're flawed. You realize they're stupid. You realize it removes their mystery. So I think men that never have female friends and women that never have male friends, they get overexcited when they're around the opposite gender. Whereas when you've always had male or female friends, you recognize it's just a person. Whereas when you don't, you think it's a potential sexual contact and you get too excited. I think it's actually a bad thing if they have no male or no female friends, because then they tend to get too excited around the opposite gender. In my experience.
So scenario, we're in a relationship. Would you let me have hot friends?
No.
That goes against your point though.
I know.
You see? Do as I say, not as I do. And you saw that smile or whatever, man, that's a little bit of flirtation right there, man. There's a little sexual energy right there. She want to holler at somebody like that. He's the type of guy that she wants. Why wouldn't she? He's a top tier guy. And like I said, man, he checks every box. The man's in shape. He's a fitness guy, right? He's wealthy, living in Dubai, right? Single. He's handsome, right? He's socially adjusted. He's charming. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. This dude possesses traits that the vast majority of men do not have. Why wouldn't she want to holler at him? Come on now. She trying to get on. So he's like, yeah, if we was together, whatever, would you be okay with me having female friends? She's like, nope. But you just said all this other stuff about men need to have female friends and da-da-da-da-da-da. Nope, not you. Why? Because she understands that all of the women, the vast majority of women, will want to be with him. That's why.
No, depends how hot. I don't mind. No, to be fair, I wouldn't mind too much. But if she posts a lot of hot stuff, I would rather you not see your female friend's naked body.
Let's say, for example, she's in the fitness industry.
Right.
Well respected in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
We go to work out together.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
In that scenario, if it feels like, and she's hot,
really hot.
Yeah, no,
great
you're
body.
not doing that. You just change
the body's unbelievable.
Yeah, no. Why you adding insult to injury? No, definitely not allowed. No, it's just not appropriate.
Okay.
There's boundaries.
So I can't have any hot
There's
friends.
boundaries to friendships. There's boundaries to everything in a
We're just
friendship.
working out.
But there's boundaries to that, because I know when you're working out, and I've had male and female personal trainers working out with them is not a good look. Because working out it's not the right boundaries. It's not the right friendships comes with boundaries. And the reason why I would allow my partner to have female friends is if he understood the boundaries without me saying them. Whereas if there's female or male friends where you have to teach them the boundaries, then it's a problem. But it's harder when you're in.
Yeah, see, even right there, that's a little bit cap. Like, she knows what to say. She knows how to say it. But, you know what I mean? Nah, shorty, you know what time it is. You know what I mean? Brother Life of Cash in the building. What's good, fam? Wing men are dope as fuck. Yeah. Wing women are dope as. Yeah, man. For real. I mean, they bring them to you, and that's the social proof you need. That is the absolute social proof you need when you're going into certain situations, man. Yeah, Cap. I mean, she knows what to say. She understands the math. She understands the science. She just doesn't like it. You know what I mean? She just doesn't like it, man. For real, bro. You know what I mean? She is bullshit. Yeah, man. I mean, she just doesn't like it. If she had an opportunity to holler at dude right here, she'd be all over it. But in her logical mind would tell her, like, yeah, he's definitely got something else going on the side. She don't want to co-sign it. If she's gonna have to get to the point where she's like, well, if I can get a guy like this, I'm gonna have to be okay with him doing whatever he wants to do out there with other women. Right? I mean, because she just said all that stuff, and he was like, well, if I was your man, would you be okay with me hanging out with my female friends? And what he was saying about the workout thing, he ain't lying about that. Personal trainers, male and female. If your wife is working out with a male personal trainer, bro, you better hope he's a fat one. If he's a fat one, if he's like slightly out of shape, he ain't all ripped up, it's all about the workout. She ain't really trying to be around him like that. But if dude is all ripped up, looking like He-Man or something like that, looking like Hercules, bro, if you ain't looking like dude, you might have an issue, man. And again, if that were my wife, I wouldn't care. Go ahead. I'm going to let you do it. My girlfriend or whatever, because y'all know, if I'm married, y'all know she got all the money anyway. So if I'm married to her, that means she's paid. She got more money than me. So otherwise, if she's making less than me or got less net worth than me, then we'll just be in a relationship. I'll go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing. And I'll just sit there and just, I'm going to give y'all the rope you need. Here you go. You want to be a cowboy? Here you go. And the minute I see, or the minute that I believe that something ain't right, I'm gone. The minute the trust is violated, I'm gone. There's not going to be any big argument. There's not going to be no hoopla. She's going to come home one day and I will be gone. All my stuff is out of there. It is what it is. I'll cut you a check for my half of the rent for the rest of the year, whatever. Because we definitely wouldn't be living in one of my properties and you wouldn't be living in one of hers. You know what I'm saying? I would do that, but I'm gone. Brother Rook is in the building. What's good, man? How you feeling, man? He's like, just got in on 37 and 9 seconds. Can already tell this lady is moving the goalpost as she goes. Yeah, she is, bro. She moving the goalpost, man. 100%. 100%. I mean, she missed the mark, man. Like, again, you hate to say it. She's still a beautiful woman, but dude, she can't compete with her younger self. She's out here taking care of the professional side of things. She's out here looking for a top tier man. It's just going to be very difficult for her, especially in Dubai. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's just crazy. There's one, Brother Dino had one on here that I definitely wanted to highlight. He's like, I was in college with a Muslim sister. She and her older sister were messing about. When the older sister ran away from an arranged marriage, the younger sister had to marry him. Bro, I didn't know it worked like that, man. That's wow. That, man, look, that right there, she's out here doing her thing. Big sister ran away. She comes home and they're like, you got to get married. And she just gives you that look.
Houston, we have a problem.
What do you mean I got to get married? Like, Houston, we got a serious problem. And I'm a single one. She was saying, yeah, she's like, my male friends have definitely reduced interest for sure. Yeah, because those are the guys that weren't being real. Those are the guys like, oh, you know, the average dude is happy to sit in the friend zone, right? He'll just sit in the friend zone and just wait for his opportunity to sit back and wait. It's like the dudes who go to strip clubs all the time. The guys who are regulars, like in the gentleman's club and like some little hole-in-the-wall gentleman club, they're waiting for the opportunity. They're waiting for the moment where one of these girls, these young dancers, the beautiful dancer he goes in and talks to, needs something. Like absolutely needs something. That's what he's waiting on. He's waiting on that opportunity. And he knows, man, she dances for money. So bands to make her dance, and bands to make her do something else if she needs it. So when I realized that, I'm like, why these dudes be hanging out here? Oh, I get it now. That's their strategy. They'll wait to get what they want. What do they want to smash? And it's like, they'll get it. Yeah, it's transactional. But in their mind, they're like, if I was dating her, I would spend more money just dating her, taking her out, taking her traveling places, buying her stuff every now and then, celebrating holidays and birthdays and stuff like that. I would have spent way more money. They start to rationalize it, but the guy just don't care, man. He's like, I want to smash, I smash. Like, it's just like, he knows that woman is never going to give him an opportunity for no relationship. He probably would be in a relationship with her, but he's not high status enough. You know what I mean? Brother Penny's like, I'll let my partner have female friends. In translation, I'll be able to have male friends without being called a hypocrite. That's crazy. Like, well, you can go out and have female friends, not go out and have male buddies. And yeah, it is what it is, man. She said some other stuff, so we're going to play this a little bit more, then we'll wrap this up, man. Let's check this out.
Industry. It's really hard in your industry.
Yeah, because... Yeah. I mean, even it's the collaborations. So I don't want to just only collaborate with men.
Yeah.
It's good for business and adds more. Particularly the majority of my viewers are men anyway.
Right.
So if there's a female involved, like they get all excited about it. They want to see the interaction. They want to just maybe have something to look at as well.
Yeah, of course.
So I want to continue doing that. And there's always been problems.
Would you ever be with someone who's in the industry, like a fitness model, and make it easier for yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a good look.
But I've noticed female fitness models who have a big following, they're pretty crazy.
Why?
Well, it depends. It depends. There's some who are like really sort of like well respected.
Yeah.
And they don't show much.
Would you mind
they have this. They can still be sexy, but they don't show too much. But the majority of these female fitness influencers, their assets everywhere.
Yeah. And would you mind if your girlfriend had an OnlyFans?
Oh, yeah.
Why would you mind?
Because everybody would be able to see the private parts.
Okay, and
I wouldn't necessarily, I wouldn't.
Why would I mind? Because the whole world could see her butthole for $15.99. Every dude's going to mind if the guy has options. Even the guys at the lower end of the spectrum, they're going to mind, but they can't do anything about it. Right? They can't do anything about it. She's going to be like, well, look, you want me to do this? Well, take care of me then. And the guy's like, well, I don't. Where are we gonna live on $75,000 a year? Yo, she's making that, in a matter of months. So, and the guy, like, again, he's like, he has no leverage. He's like, well, I mean, I can't beat her, might as well join her. So now he can say, well, we do content together and this and that and that. Like, bro, she's an adult content star now, for real. So is you. Well, it's just what we're doing anyway. We're in a relationship, so we're just filming it. We're getting paid for it. I mean, all right, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that, but more power to you.
Respect their values. I think it's very important. If I'm going to be in a relationship with someone or we're going to get married, we have to have the same values.
Yeah.
And it's something which I disagree on.
Right.
I think that woman has taken the easy route.
Right.
Even with myself, I have done it the hard way to get to where I am today. I have had many offers. I could have done some pretty degrading things. I could have got OnlyFans myself and made $100,000 a month.
Yeah, you could easily done that. Yeah.
But I was like, no, because it goes against what I stand for. I have too much pride.
Okay.
So I would much rather do it the harder way, the slower way.
Yeah.
And then even when you get to that point, it's way more satisfying.
Yeah.
And you can talk about
like what he's talking about right there, man. All money ain't good money. Like dudes like probably had legit women coming offering like, hey man, let's do this OF thing, man. Let's go ahead and get bread. Let's go ahead and get this bread. And the fact that he said no, lets me know that there are women out there who are the same way. Like, nah, I'm not doing that. There are women that hold themselves to a higher standard. Like, man, I'm not doing that. She'll sit there and say the same thing, man. All money ain't good money, bro. I'm not doing that. I'm not. She knows that's gonna bite her in the butt. She knows it's gonna be a problem. We got kids, your mom and one of your kids come running home crying with their phone, right? And they're like, "Mommy, look," and it's her mom getting her back blown out by 3 dudes. And what is she gonna say? There, Jimmy, everything's fine. Nah. Other kids are out there. I seen your mama's booty hole. You know what I mean? Or even worse, I paid your mom $15 and look at the pictures she sent, right? That is horrible. We have yet to deal with the fallout from this new culture with this technology. It's coming. We've seen it a little bit, but it's coming.
About how you got there. But if I'm doing this podcast, I'm like, oh yeah, staying in this apartment because I do OnlyFans. People will be like,
yeah,
okay, well, good one. And then it tarnishes your reputation.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, it does do that.
So I could be friends with a woman like that. I could maybe have a short fling with a woman like that, but I couldn't. And I would respect it. Like, say, for example, the girl I met in Bali, she's, got a family out of poverty. So I respect that and I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But
starting a relationship is a different kind of level of respect.
I would not do that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, this dude right here, he's real calm. He's just chill, right? He's just giving the game to her and to the whole world. Yeah, I could smash an OF girl. I could have some fun. We go have a good time. We can chill, but I'll never be like, hey, fellas, this is my woman right here, right? Because she's tarnished herself, and if I claim her, then I'm tarnished as well, right? That's how it's historically has been. Things are starting to change now, slowly but surely. And what it is the squeaky wheels are making all this noise and getting the grease, and people are like, see, it's okay. My past doesn't matter. Our past doesn't matter. It's okay. We can make it work. We're traditional. Nah, you're not. And the real folks, the traditional people, are just being quiet. They're not going to tell you anything. It's like that difference between new money and old money. They're like, yeah, you got bread, you got money, but you ain't us. Old money. You new money. We're not even sure you're gonna be able to keep that money. So that's how they gonna look on these women. You're gonna get looked down upon. Even if he said, look, this woman was a good woman. She did what she did to get her family fed, to get them money, to get them out of the situation. But I'm still not going to marry her. Right? I'm still not going to marry her. And it's just, that's how it is. Is that going to change? I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, especially when you're talking about the top tier guys. Bottom 80, yeah, they'll do whatever. They'll do whatever. You know what I mean? But the top tier guys, nah. And Brother Cody is saying, even if her 3 or 4 settles down, her man will never love her the same as he would have a pure one. And she will never love him like she would a man she actually wanted and respected. That is an absolute fact, bro. It is. They do that, and it's just convenience. That's the Don DeMarco. That is an absolute fact, because she knows where she is and what she's done. And she gonna look at this guy, Mr. Captain Save-A-Ho, and on the one hand, she's like, oh my God, I'm so grateful you saved me. But on the other hand, she's like, I can't believe you really took me. You're not as high status as I thought you were if you're going to deal with a woman like me. That is powerful, bro. Powerful.
To each their own.
So yeah, respect everybody who's doing that, but it's just not my thing.
Own. Yeah, to each their own. We're not here to judge anyway, but to each their own.
I am.
Here's another good question. Mm-hmm. We're in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Would you let me go on a lad's holiday?
No.
No.
I'm very strict. I'm very strict. It's like, I'm very strict, but it would depend on the age and stage and all these things. But this is what I tend to do. I tend to be with people who are just not that way inclined too much anyway. So if it's a case of you're going and it's like all the time and it's all this, that, and the other, I don't really like that. But if it's occasionally here and there, I still don't like it, but I might be less difficult.
But what if you wanted to go on a girls' trip somewhere?
I don't do that.
So you see what I mean with Shorty, man? Like she's keeping it 100. He's like, I want to go on a boys trip. She's like, if we're in a relationship, I want to go on a boys trip. She's like, nope. But the thing is, if you're dealing with a top tier man, you don't have the leverage. That guy doesn't care what you think. You know what I mean? He really doesn't. Now, if he's in love with you, he wants you to be happy. You know, he might forego a trip or two, especially if he knows like them dudes are going to Colombia or the Panama or Thailand and all that, you know, it's a sex trip. I'm not going. It's kind of like a quasi business trip. He's gonna have to sit her down or say, you coming with me? Like, you coming with me? You know, that's part of the relationship. That's part of the give and take. But she's just sitting there like, I won't let you. Top tier guys don't care. You can leave, baby. I'm gone. I'll tell you what, I'm going on this trip. When I get back, I won't be mad if your stuff is gone. Like, I won't be mad. So, and then what? So that's where that whole leadership thing comes in, man. Like I said, it's one of those things. If you want a guy with that type of status, that type of reach, with those types of options, you're going to have to let it happen. And that's, Myron talks about it all the time. If you're dealing with a dude, hopefully he's being upfront and telling you he's going to go out here and do this stuff every now and then. But powerful men do it all the time. Most of them don't even tell you. It's almost a given. Even women, you talk to women in Europe, you talk to women in Spain and France and Greece, you talk to them in Germany, man, they're like, whatever. They already know what time it is. Like, he's a billionaire. Come on now, you know what he's doing. So long as he comes home, so long as Andrew Tate talks about it all the time. He was talking about the Russian oligarchs. Like, yeah, the Romanians and the Russians, the big money guys, their wife is at the house, man. She ain't trying to go out. She don't want to go out. She's got the kids. She's got the home. She's maintaining the home. She's covering his sex. She's taking care of their system. She knows he's out there smashing whatever. Right. And there are rules to it. Like, she knows she's not have to see it. She don't have to deal with it. There are rules to it. A lot of people hate it when you say that stuff out loud, man, but it is what it is. You know, Cody's like, boys trips are to get away from women, girls trips are to get plowed by randoms. Hey, man, I hate to say it, but Miami, Vegas, right, Cancun, Jamaica, and girls trip, bro, you got a problem. You got a problem. And again, if I'm dealing with a woman and she's trying to do girls trips, I ain't saying nothing. Go ahead. But when she gets back, I'm probably gone. And he went on to say something like that on his podcast. He went on to say something like that. He's like, yeah, I'll let you do whatever. I ain't tripping. But we're not going to play that. Maybe we'll do it on the next time when we circle back to talk about Sister Khan. But we're just going to leave it right there. Overall, man, I think she's a net positive for the space. She's out there saying some real good things. It's just when it gets to her, or when the topic comes dangerously close to her, i.e. the age thing, and you know what I mean, the whole body count. We didn't even get into the body count thing. She has her own takes on the body count. We'll do that next time. When it gets to that, you can tell she's not as base. She's not as grounded in realism, because that's her. She's talking, that's her world. She's in that cohort. So she kind of backs off a little bit. But the rest of it, yeah, man, I think she's spot on. And she's keeping it 100 as with the rest of it. But when it comes to stuff that's close to her, yeah, man, it's some cap popping off, man. Some Cappadocious dropping off with her statements around that sort of thing, right? So I don't know, but overall, man, I think her message is cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think she's tripping. I know she understands what's going on. She 100% gets it. She just doesn't like certain parts of it. You know what I mean? That's my take on it, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're gonna leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed that, man. This was fun. Tomorrow is Friday, of course. So I've decided on Fridays what I'm gonna start doing is chopping these things up and putting the shorts up. I can just kind of do that on Friday, put the shorts up, because that's where we've been getting a lot of views, man. We do the YouTube shorts and stuff like that. We've been getting a lot of views on a lot of this stuff. So I'm gonna continue to do that. I'll chop up the stuff like with me and Cody, we're up here talking, and we'll have like other folks like me and Shushu. I can cut that up. That's like a separate, I can do that on StreamYard and it comes out different. And the screen is nice because the YouTube shorts, you know, they give you just a little bit of screen. So if you have two people talking, you can't get both of them in the shot. But on StreamYard, I can get them both in the shot. I get three people, like when we had Mandrill on and Dusto and all that. I could do the whole big screen thing. So I think I'm gonna take Fridays to just kind of upload the shorts and stuff like that. Saturdays, man, I'm watching football, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to figure out something. Plus, I've been out Friday night, you know, maybe I had a little bit of drink. So I'm still gonna figure out the weekends. I gotta figure out a way to maximize my time and continue to get this content out. And maybe I'll do a Lit Saint episode Friday night. We'll see, or Saturday night. And then again, I'm gonna take the wireless mics out and I'm gonna go and just meet some people, man, on the street kind of thing, and ask some questions and see how that goes. You know what I mean? See what it sounds like, put them up as well. So thanks for rocking out with me, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who was here. Hey, I'm the single one. We gotta get you on this platform, sis. We got to get you up here talking. We've had Lady Naveau up here. We've had Miss AKA Lady up here. We got to get you up here, and we got to get because I think you came up once for a hot second. We got to get you up here, and we got to get Miss Globe Girl up here. Haven't seen Miss Globe Girl in a while, man. I'm gonna just go in black YouTube trenches and see if I can find her. You know what I mean? Suzette Speaks, haven't done anything in a while. I know she's on Suzette Speaks a lot in the chat, so we'll find her. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This was fun. I really enjoyed this, man. So I will definitely see you guys a little bit tomorrow and over the weekend, but we'll be back Monday, 6 p.m. to do a proper show. I've been looking into that LA thing with the two models who were found dead in their apartments. They were in close proximity to one another. LAPD is saying that the cases are non-related. One case is being investigated as a murder. The other case is being looked at as a suspicious death. They're waiting on coroner's report to decide how they're going to classify it. So that was via LA Times article that I read today. So I'm still waiting for, you know, more information to come out, but it looks real suspicious, man. They were both found inside their home, inside their apartments. Both were discovered via welfare checks. One was like LAPD came and discovered the one woman was in her room, and the other, her family went to check on her and they discovered the scene, and it was you know, kind of gruesome from the way it was described. So I'm definitely keeping my eye on that. Maybe we'll talk about it on Monday. Over the weekend, hopefully more information would have come out and we'll get, you know, we'll see what's going on with that. So until then, man, y'all have a good weekend. Y'all stay cool. Yeah, again, thanks for rocking out with me. It's always a pleasure. I'm DL Saint. This is the I Really Want to Know podcast. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.